Lord, it is good that we are here. 3 figures at the Transfiguration, 3 guests, so 3 points. Here we go. Number 1, the Transfiguration is a gift given to Peter, James, and John. They are beloved by Jesus, and they love, in return, their good friend and teacher. But Jesus knows that their love will shortly be tested, strained, and abandoned as he is arrested, tortured, and crucified. So he wants to make sure that they know that he is always with them, always worthy of their trust, their love, and their faith, even if everything else seems to the contrary, even and especially as they become afraid, doubting, and unsure. So Jesus allows his divinity to break forth from its hiding place beneath his humanity. It's the same Jesus, but now he is transfigured, showing to Peter, James, and John God's glory, God's greatness hidden beneath the mundane gentleness and everyday kindness of Jesus. That's number 1. The Transfiguration is a gift given by Jesus, a reminder, especially in times of difficulty, that God is always faithful, always present, always loving, and always ready to comfort us, even when we abandon our faith, when we are afraid, doubting, or unsure. Number 2, this is my beloved Son. Listen to him. Like every good teacher, God, our Heavenly Father, wants to make sure that we get the message. When the Father told Peter, James, and John, listen to him, he was saying, obey him. Do what he tells you. Follow his example. Follow him. To listen to Jesus is to be his disciple. To listen the way Abraham listened to the Lord in our first reading and left his country and kindred and his father's house and set off. That's number 2. We are called to listen to Jesus, a message we get directly from God, our Heavenly Father. And we're called to listen and to respond by following the example. Do we, like Samuel, the great prophet, say, "Speak, Lord, your servant is listening"? Or, as the Christian ethicist Paul Ramsey rephrased it, "Speak, Lord, and your servant will think it over." Number 3, while the gift is permanent, born as it is of the love of God, its effects weaken, and it needs to be renewed. Master, it's good that we are here. I will build 3 tents. God bless Peter. He wants to freeze the moment, to extend it, to hold on to it, because as fearful as the vision may be, let alone the voice of the Father, it's better than being left out in the cold of his own fear, confusion, and doubt. So he wants to stay on the mountain and hold on to that vision. That's number 3. The gift of the Transfiguration is given to us to remind us to tap into God's love and power so that we can go back down the mountain, so that we can return to our daily lives, better aware of God's presence, more aware of God's power, living out our call to holiness, as St. Paul reminds his beloved Timothy, based on God's power and not on our own works. That's precisely why we need time for God. Like the car always has to go back to the gas station, or I feel now the need to add with new technology or to the charging station. We cannot continue to march forth through our daily lives without continuously coming back to God to be filled with grace. Number one, the Transfiguration is a gift from God to remind us to trust, even and especially when it's difficult. Number two, the gift is a direct call from God to listen to Jesus, to follow his example, to obey him as he calls us to love and to serve others. And number three, we need to go back to that vision, go back to God, breaking into our daily lives. Over and over again, we need to go back so that we renew the gift within us and make that gift fruitful in our lives. Master, it is good that we are here.